Okay, everyone, I'm back. Let's see how this works today. Going live on YouTube and here on X. So let me make sure you all can hear me. I think I've worked out some kinks. We will see how it goes. Someone suggested I add some more not memory, but internet service in case that helps. So, regardless, I'm taping for YouTube, so it'll be up. And I want to make sure you all can hear me. So, let's see if I can hear myself over here on my other computer and see if you all can hear me. Yes. Okay. Okay, there's a little background there, but I do believe that's because I have the two computers here together and there's reverb. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is make sure that you are just checking to make sure you all can hear me. So maybe we can get some things done because it's very important today on some of the stuff that is happening. And I definitely want to keep us up to breast of what is going on. And I'm going to cover the title today is OG Trump and Black American History. I want to show you all that one, Trump is continuously acknowledging us. He is not, and whereas people are saying attempting to erase our history, I don't believe that. There are some comments that yes, he makes that we don't like, right? But at the end of the day, I don't see Trump really attempting like the Democrats and the immigrants. We got to talk about it. They're really the ones attempting to erase us. So I'm going to start off one with the proclamation that President Trump did create for Black History Month for this year, 2026. And let's see. I want to just show that because then people would say, no, he didn't. He didn't write no proclamation acknowledging Black History Month for Black Americans in 2026. Because a lot of people, they just will not go out and research for themselves, right? So I am going to make sure I show you all his proclamation on this YouTube so that people can say, you know what? No, you can go out here and you can see it for yourself. He made a proclamation, Black History Month, and I don't see anywhere saying anything about erasing our history. Now, one of the things I have to give them props on this particular on this one to on this proclamation is that last year, let me see, can I remove him over here? I don't want that over there. I want the whole full screen. But last year, I made a comment may have as well. Let me stop and get this off the screen. Here we go. Okay, now share again. I don't know how many others may have also recognized the fact that they, African American, we address ourselves by African American, right? We address ourselves as Black Americans. It's Black American History Month. So therefore, we want to be addressed as Black. And I noticed last year in his proclamation, he was stating African American. So I made a little comment, and you know what, you all, they adjusted. They did adjust, okay, to making sure they say Black. Now it's a small b, but it should be capitalized. And then on top of that, you know what? Now we're adding freedmen, right? We're making sure people understand, especially with the 14th Amendment, which I'm going to cover today. We're going to cover a little of that because the Supreme Court has decided that they are going to listen to the arguments in March, the end of March, I do believe, beginning April, that they're going to listen to the cases on the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. So that it's not this month, but it goes into next month, the end of March, I do believe, going into April. So we're going to hear a great deal more about the 14th Amendment and immigration. We cannot, at this point in time, not talk about immigration. It is affecting our country. We see people are going all out for illegal immigrants that are rapists or child sexual abusers, or they are killing Americans. But we got a lot of liberals and progressives that are going hard to stop the immigration. So we got to also now address how we are seeing the humiliated immigrants are all in on the plan, right? All in on the plan. We got to talk about it. So here we go. Just a couple of paragraphs to read over. This year, we celebrate the most significant milestone in our nation's history, 250 years of glorious of American independence. From the very beginning, our country has been blessed with the countless Black American heroes. Yes, for more than 2.5 centuries, these legends have made timeless contributions to our government, laws, military, economy, workforce, and culture. With this tremendous legacy in mind, as president, I proclaim Black history is not distinct from American history. Rather, the history of Black Americans is an indispensable chapter in our grand American history. And it's still not a chapter. It's ongoing. Now, I will say it's not a chapter, right? We are not going anywhere. But we see, you all, we're in a space where there's erasure happening right now with immigrants. Okay? With the immigrants. Okay? And they in our culture. So America's founding was rooted in the belief that every man, woman, and child is created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. Y'all hold this, because this is a part of our 14th Amendment and making sure we are made whole. Because at this point in time, we can look at the 14th Amendment and see how it was specifically targeting us as freedmen, and it's not been adhered to for freedmen, right? Everybody else is coming over here on the freedmen's back, off the freedmen's back, taking and plundering our wealth, and then acting like our narrative and our story and our unique history in America is theirs to tell. And we got to talk about that, you all. It burns me up inside. My ancestors rise up in me and say, no, 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 no. And you see what shirt I have on. I'm doing this again today in the Reparations shirt. I'll show you. All right. Hey, Reparations. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, cut the check. And we're going to get to that video in here in a minute. I'm going to keep playing that video, as well as I'm going to keep playing the Trump's videos. So here it says, as I continue, creator certain unalienable rights and free to live lives or in pursuit of happiness. Hey, you all, these are things that those words mean something. Words mean something. This is, to me, acknowledgement that we can definitely build off of and conduct business with Trump for our specific freedmen, Black American Negro freedmen agenda. And I'm going to talk a little more about that as well. So for 250 years, these principles have inspired and informed the independent, bold, and pioneering American spirit. It is our bedrock belief in equality that drove Black American icons to help fulfill the promise of these principles. And it is our unwavering commitment to liberty that continues to sustain this nation. Now, those are the only 2 paragraphs I'm going to read right here now. I want you all to hold that, right? You can go and find that particular proclamation on the White House website. All you got to do is type in Black History Month Proclamation 2026, and you're going to get it. It'll come up for you, okay? It's not that difficult if you really want to go out there and retrieve that information. I think some people just do not want to read. They do not, and then they don't want the truth, right? So with that, I had to highlight that because you will hear, and you will continue to hear, that Trump is erasing Black American history. But at the same time, when I hear that, I say to us, what are we supposed to be doing if someone is attempting to erase our history? What are we supposed to be doing? We're just going to let it happen? Aren't we supposed to speak out? Aren't we supposed to get together and make sure that it is notated that that is not, we're not adhering to certain things. I don't hear people speaking out, but it is what it is. So excuse me. So we want to make sure as well that we highlight the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and his words. So I want to go to these videos of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and we're going to talk more about how this present administration is acknowledging Black Americans, and we can utilize or leverage some things right now for ourselves as Americans first, without all of this other stuff that has been said. We just noise to me. So let's get to this video. Let's see how this video plays. I'm going to replay this video continuously because it is the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King expressing some of our. Oh, I got a whole list of great videos for you today. But let's listen to this one by our great ancestor.
Somehow, not easily, but somehow got around it. Is it just the fact that Negroes are Black?
I'm gonna restart it.
Freed no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil.
I mean, every other group that came as an immigrant somehow, not easily, but somehow got around it. Is it just the fact that Negroes are Black?
America freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its Black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression and as a result of a society that deliberately made his color a stigma and something worthless and degrading.